following program is brought to you in living color on NBC by Ford. From the Air Force Flight Test Center at Edwards Air Force Base, California, The Ford Show, with Ernie's guests, the flyers of the X-15 rocket ship, Joe Walker and Major Bob White. Your host is Ford. Tonight announcing the magnificent 1961 Thunderbird. Unmistakably new, unmistakably Thunderbird.
Folks at home, I must say good evening. It is there at your house, but here it's a beautiful day in the high desert of California. We did our show this afternoon. It's good to see all of you. You know that great Douglas C-133 is a great little airplane. I wish we could have flown in it. A big welcome to all of you watching the show from all of us here at Edwards Air Force Base, the world's largest wind tunnel. Oh, out here in the middle of the desert, it gets to blowing and you never know when. Yesterday, the band was rehearsing. The tuba player stood up to do a solo. The wind suddenly came up and screwed him 20 feet in the ground. You know? Oh, some of you must have heard that one before. Today we got that big metal shed over the band over there, but no tuba player. I ought to explain to you folks at home that this is no ordinary Air Force base. This is an aircraft and missile experimental testing center, And now these are not ordinary GIs here. No. They are some of the finest engineering brains in the country. Now they must be, because the coffee machines on this base use over 500 gallons of coffee a day, and there hasn't been a dime found in one of them yet. You know, this is a whole new kind of scientific Air Force they've got nowadays. And during the war, when I took my flight training at George Air Force Base over the hill here, after we were through for the day, we'd get a pass, go into town, look for a little fun. These fellas aren't interested in that here. When they get to town, they go to the Antelope Valley Inn and order a book on physics. Let me tell you something here. When a girl tells these fellas she's 36, 24, 36, she'd better be, because they all got a slide rule. And I tell you, these men are tops in research and development. But to, oh, you're ahead of me here. Way ahead. But to give you an idea of the really important work being done here at Edwards, let me show you a few of the things that they have been testing. Now, right over there, I'll point and get a shot of it. That is a rocket sled that you've heard so much about. That's it. Now, they use it to test the seat ejection system on the jet planes. This thing can go from a standing start to 1,000 miles an hour and come to a complete stop in 4 seconds. They asked me if I'd like to ride in it. I said, thanks. I carry my wallet in my hip pocket, and I'd hate to have to unbutton my collar every time I wanted it. You get the picture? And I'll point over here. There's a hill that sits way back over here where they test the Atlas missiles. And they're what they call captive missiles. Instead of shooting it out into space, they just send it up a few feet off of the ground, and then they bring it down so they can use it over and over again. It's sort of a $1 million yo-yo. And back behind there is the B-52 supersonic bomber and the B-58. Look at that B-58. That looks like a flying hypodermic needle, don't it? I guess they've got practically every kind of plane here. You may be wondering why I haven't mentioned the one thing that Edwards Air Force Base is most noted for right now. And this is it, the plane that has made aviation history. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a real good look at the X-15 rocket ship. Isn't that slicker than a peeled onion? I don't know too much about this plane. I'd sure like to take a little closer look in the cockpit, but there's a reason why I can't, and I'll show you the reason. The air police are everywhere, I believe. But what I can do, what I can do is let all of you meet 2 of the test pilots who actually flew this plane. Here they are, Joseph A. Walker, Chief Pilot of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and Major Robert M. White, United States Air Force. Understand that you 2 fellows hold records that you can really be proud of. Bob, you flew the X-15 higher than any man has ever flown before, didn't you?
That's right, Ernie.
Well, how high did you go up there?
136,500 feet. That's nearly 26 miles.
Mercy. You know, I get a nosebleed when my barber pumps the chair up. Did you know that? Joe, I think you flew faster than any man has ever flown before, right?
Right, Ernie.
Let's see, the way I got it, you flew to 2,200 miles an hour.
No, you're kind of stretching it a little.
Didn't it?
It was actually only 2,196 miles.
Oh, I'm sorry, but it's still a little faster than the afternoon bus to Lancaster, isn't it? There. While I've got the two fellas here, I want to show you folks something. Can I have that in here, please? Here is a little play, Purdy. This is a model of the Air Force's newest project, the fantastic B-70 hypersonic bomber. Now, fellas like these will probably be testing it one of these days. Now, I know it's kind of secret, but could you tell us just a little something about it? Now, we want to just tell us enough to make Khrushchev a little sick if he's watching the show.
Well, Ernie, it'll be the biggest airplane ever built with the greatest range.
I see.
Fast, too. About 3 times as fast as the speed of sound.
Oh, boy. You know, that's incredible. You know, while one of these fellas is flying this plane, the other one can be testing the X-15 inside of it. Boys, we sure thank you for your visit, and our country can be proud of 2 men like you, Bob White and Joe Walker. Right now, here's something new that Ford is real proud of. Pop your eyeballs on this.
Today, there is a new Thunderbird. That was the sound of it. This is the shape of it. This is how it can be for you in the Thunderbird for 1961. Unmistakably new. Unmistakably Thunderbird. Notice, it's not a hair wider nor a 1/10 of an inch longer than Thunderbirds you've known before. It is simply more Thunderbird than ever. There is a new Thunderbird convertible, too, with 4-passenger luxury for all the world to see. The Thunderbird touch is everywhere. An optional swing-away steering wheel moves over to welcome you in, then pivots smoothly back to the normal driving position. A new Thunderbird 390 Special V8 engine wings you swiftly, silently up to highway speed. There can be a day like this for you, a Thunderbird day. Your first day with your own 1961 Thunderbird. Unmistakably new, unmistakably Thunderbird.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I guess all you mathematical geniuses know that when you subtract 8 from 20, you get 12. And that's exactly the number of men that we have in the top 20. Here they are with a special salute to Veterans Day.
For the hardest blow of all is to hear the bugle
know, in the time I've been here, I've had a chance to walk around the base and see things. There's the glamorous side, the test pilots and scientists and the top brass. And then there's the other side, the fellas you never hear about, the wrench jockeys, the GI mechanics. They got a problem, you know. Not only is it a highly technical job, but most of the things they work on are classified secret. This morning, I was watching two of them working on a jet engine, and they sounded something like this. What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
I don't know. They wouldn't tell me. It's classified.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't know either. But the sergeant pointed you out to me and said, whatever he tightens, you squirt.
Ready?
Ready.
Good.
Hey.
Yeah.
This bolt here's a little loose. Why don't you tighten it?
No, I can't do it.
Why?
I can't do it. Security just cleared me for nuts, not bolts. See, I'm a nut man.
I see, yeah. Boy, this sure is a complicated-looking engine, isn't it?
A what?
Engine.
I didn't know we were working on an engine. I thought this was a plane.
No. No, this is one of these new secret jet engines.
It is?
I found out by accident.
You did?
Yeah.
How?
I saw a picture of it in Popular Mechanics magazine. It's called the J2 something or other. J something or other.
Boy, they sure are careful on this base, aren't they?
Yeah.
There ain't nothing got a name here. Everything's got a letter.
Yeah.
J this, B that.
Yeah. Do you know Colonel Green just had a new baby and called it X?
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. I guess he figured it was an experimental model, and if he liked it, he'd go into production.
Talking about going into production, did you see that little blonde secretary they got in communications?
Yeah.
You see her?
Yeah. Hey, what's her name?
I don't know. She's classified, too.
Oh.
They call her J2.
J2?
Yeah, J2. And she's got Y's and X's that are out of this world.
Yeah? Has she? Yeah. Hey, did you take her out?
Did I take her out?
Did you take her out?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I took her out for a drive.
Yeah.
And I took her out to dinner.
Yeah.
Then I took her out dancing.
Yeah.
Then some hotshot pilot took her home.
You know that figures here. That's the way it is around here. We do all the groundwork, and they keep them flying.
Feel like working the other side of the block here?
Might as well. Yeah. Hey, tell me something. What is this little gadget right here?
Now, don't go asking questions.
Well, I just wanted to know.
Well, I don't care. But one thing you gotta learn in this here Air Force is you don't ask no questions.
Oh.
You see these two stripes I got here?
Yeah?
Well, I don't ask any questions.
Huh.
That's how I got to keep these 20 years.
Well, I'll learn. I'll learn. I've only been in 15. You know.
Well, Don't forget it. See, the trick here is just don't ask any questions. You just do what you're told to do. Now, they tell me, they say, work on the engine. I say, fine. They tell me, work on the landing gear. Fine. They tell me to mow the crew chief's lawn, which is illegal. Fine.
You do well. I'll remember that now.
All right, let's get to work here. Now, will you watch what you're doing? Now you got oil all over my hands.
I'm sorry. Why don't you go wash it off?
I don't know where to go.
I don't either. You know, I think they went a little too far when they classified that.
These are the Thunderbirds, the United States Air Force Precision Jet Flying Team. Woo-wee, look at them scoot. Like 4 mad roosters. Here's another group of top performers. 3 1961 Ford Sunliners. Each one is powered by Ford's big Thunderbird 390 Special V8 engine. With the hair trigger response and extra punch, only the Thunderbird itself can match. They handle like Thunderbirds, too. That's because all 1961 Fords have Thunderbird wide tread design. That means easier cornering and greater stability on straightaways. By golly, you fellas look like you're about to take off there.
Well, it's that big Thunderbird engine, Ern. You know, it's just raring to go the second you turn it on.
Well, that shouldn't surprise anyone. Ford, you know, has made more V8s than all other manufacturers combined. So it only stands to reason that they know how to build them better.
Hey, Ern, can't hold him back much longer.
Turn her loose, then. Whee! And don't you folks hold back either. See your Ford dealer and sample the go of a 61 Ford, powered by a Thunderbird V8 engine. I tell you, there's just nothing like it.
When you do, then you know why we say you're ahead in a Ford on the way.
Closes the hangar door for tonight. We've had a great time here at Edwards Air Force Base, and while we've poked a little fun, it really gives you a wonderful feeling of security to see the spirit and dedication to the important work the men of the Air Force are doing. Our thanks to the United States Air Force for their cooperation, to Brigadier General John W. Carpenter, commander of the Edwards Air Force Base, Mr. Joe Walker, and the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, who made his appearance possible, and to Major Bob White. Our thanks to Colonel Charles A. Brown and to Major Lee Amos for their kindness to us. And a special thanks to Joe Flynn for making the trip up here to play the mechanic in our little sketch. Don't forget, we'll be back next week from Hollywood when our guest will be Keenan Wynn. Until then, don't forget to drop in and see your Ford dealer and see the brand new beautiful 1961 Thunderbird. Good night, and bless your little pea-picking heart.
By Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to come in tomorrow and see the unmistakably new 1961 Thunderbird, unique in all the world.
You're ahead in a Ford all the
way. The Ford Show is a living color presentation on NBC. Now stay tuned for Groucho Marx and the Groucho Show, next over most of these same NBC stations. This program was pre-recorded.